Hey guys, welcome to the Clack Shack, and tonight I'm gonna be trying out a new machine. My friends at Comgrow I got an email from them saying they had sent me a Z1. I didn't even know what a Z1 was. Apparently it is Comgrow's version of a 10-watt laser engraver. It arrived yesterday, but I've been busy with stove covers and hadn't got a chance to put it together. Well, tonight I took the opportunity to do a video of putting it together so that I could help those that may purchase one in the future and try to find any pitfalls, shortcomings, or whatever in the assembly process. And I'm gonna be dropping that video out so that if you do decide to go and get one, then you can follow the video that I did, and hopefully I can find those pitfalls and those shortcomings for the instructions, because as we all know, that traditionally speaking, these economy level lasers do not come with, even some of the more expensive ones do not come with very good instructions, not at least for people like myself and a lot of the people that follow the channel and watch the channel. So hopefully we'll be able to get through any of those pitfalls, point those out to you. But just full disclosure, guys, the machine was sent to me, like I said, from Comgrow. I did not buy it, I did not solicit it, they did not pay me to make the videos. I do get a lot of stuff from Comgrow. I did several videos on their equipment, including the enclosure, the honeycomb, the smoke purifier. I've even, corresponded with them on some of the upgrades that they're doing to some of their enclosures as far as adding lights and stuff like that. I'm still asking them to work on the camera capability and maybe like a built-in camera or built-in camera mount for their enclosures. I think that would be a good thing. But I am completely honest, and always will be, guys. And you're gonna find that out in this video, because Comgrow keeps sending me equipment. I keep doing reviews. My reviews aren't always, everything that's great about a machine, because I can tell you the good things, but I also want to point out to you the bad things. So I'm going to go over some of the things that I have discovered about the machine tonight, and I'm going to show you a video of just briefly a few cuts and engraves and that type of thing, to kind of let you know what the machine is capable of. So if that's something you're interested in, if you're looking at getting into lasers and looking for a budget machine that can do what you want to do, then this might be a video you want to watch. So stick around. The performance of the laser is pretty good, but as you know, guys, I'm not going to let you take my word for it. I'm going to show you some video. We're going to do some cuts. We're going to do some burns and just kind of see what this thing's got. Keep in mind, this is my preliminary evaluation. I will be doing more work with this machine. I will be using it more, and I can give you a little more input later. But if this is something that you're interested in, guys, I will be putting a link in the description of the video. I am a Comgrow affiliate, so if you use that link, they'll know it came from me, and thus they may send me more free stuff to show you guys. But so far I'm not disappointed in the machine. It is a 10 watt, that's great. I've had 5 watts sent to me before, and I really can't do a lot with 5 watts. But I'm going to show you what this thing's capable of, guys. And like I said, if you're interested in it, go down, check in the link, check in the description. There'll be a link there to take you to the site to where you can order it and go from there. But that's all the yakking I'm going to do for now, guys. I'm going to let you see this machine do some work, so stick around. All right, guys, I'm going to throw this machine over here to the side. I had everything disconnected already. Like I said, I've been doing some stove covers today. My brother has. And we'll just set this new one over in there just so that I got a place to sit it. Footprint wise, it's pretty close as far as the footprint of the machine. Okay, good news is the first couple of pages in the book, they have that this thing is a X400 and Y400. So that was simple enough. It's actually on page 3 of the manual that the working area is 400 by 400, which is going to be 15.75 inch square, which works great for my 16 by 16 pieces of material. According to the markings on the machine, this machine is going to be set up for front left center. So it's going to be positioned up here, similar to some of the other machines that I've dealt with. It's going to be the home, so I'm going to mark that as front left, and I'm going to set it to auto home at start. So I'm going to push it out of home here so I can see if it moves freely or if I have to snatch the power plug out of it, because I don't know if I've got those belts completely tight or completely loose enough. So there we go. Got it added to my machine profiles. Comgrow Z1 should be connecting. There we go. It is auto homing. See how smooth the switches work. Not bad, guys. Okay. So we got all that wired up properly. Let's see if this thing will make a beam of light now. See if I've got that module wired up backwards. If I do, I don't know how this video is going to end, guys. But I promise you, we're fixing to find out. So I'm going to go ahead and throw me a piece of wood up there. I'm trying to estimate it to be in the middle of my workspace. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a square on my workspace, just a small square, and I'm going to set it to just a faint line, just to verify that the module is actually firing. Now, I've got some glasses somewhere around here. So I'm going to send it to frame and make sure everything moves like it's supposed to, because like I said, guys, I haven't really tested the adjustments of the belts and tension and stuff. Okay, it sounds kind of R2-D2-ish. That's kind of cool. All right, the one thing that I haven't done, guys, is focus this thing. So let me look in here and see if they gave me a tutorial for focusing. I'm guessing maybe that big thick piece of material we found is going to be it. Software installation, software installation, software installation, software installation. Okay, installation tips, machine display. All right. Not seeing it, guys. Not seeing it. Wavelengths. What's the focal length here? Focal length. 20 millimeters. I bet that's what this little piece of material is for. All right, what this is this is a piece of clear acrylic, and I have found no other use for it in this machine, guys. It didn't fit anywhere. It doesn't fit anything. My experience with a lot of the machines is they expect you to use a piece of acrylic to focus them. So I'm going to assume that that's probably what's meant to happen here. And we're going to take this piece of acrylic, and first I need to get this little sticker thing off of the laser module. And I'm going to pull this cover off of my orange thing here. All right, and I'm going to snap the cover back on. I'm going to leave the little hook part to the back. It's got magnets. That's neat. All right, so got it sitting down on the little piece of material. I'm going to tighten all these little thumb screws up. There's 4 of them, and I'm going to pull my material out. And I'm going to try not to lose this guy, so I'm going to lay it right there. All right, so that should be focused, if I'm correct, guys. So we're finna see if we make fire or sparks. So I've got the power. Let's see what my power's set on. 50 speed, 100% power. So we'll see what this thing's got. Okay, guys. I don't know about you, but I did not see any light. So maybe we got these backwards. Not digging the fact that I'm having to guess at this either. Oh, wait a minute, we got power to the fan. Hang on, let me power this guy down. So, okay guys, we have solved the mystery. If you buy one of these, the red and black wire goes closer to the gantry. The yellow and blue would be toward the front of the machine. And I'll give you a closer look on that in a minute. Powered it back up. Okay, now I've got a fan. That sounds more like what a laser is supposed to sound like. So I'm guessing that was actually backwards. Hopefully it didn't hurt anything. We'll find out here in a minute. All right, framed perfectly. See if we can make, oh yeah, we've got a laser, guys. We've got burn, I've got smoke. All right, so we didn't destroy it. Very faint line. That was kind of high speed, so I'm gonna take and make sure I got that back where I need it. Frame that out. It runs smooth. I admit it runs smooth. I like the R2D2 sound. So I'm going to change this over to a cut. I don't have a honeycomb in here, guys, so this is not necessarily going to be the best, prettiest cut ever. And we turn the lights and the smoke exhaust on. But I'm going to set this at 7 millimeters per second, 100% output, 4 passes. With traditionally with 10 watt machines, that'll get me through this 4.5 millimeter Luan. So we're going to try that and see what happens. This machine does not have an air assist, but it does have that little cone piece built into the nose of it that I'm guessing uses the fan that cools the module to blow air onto the surface of the material. And with the door open, it is not getting the smoke out of here. So the good news is, guys, it works. All right, we got it put together. It was a little rocky. There was challenges, there were struggles, but it works. But remember, the red and black wire go towards the gantry. I'm hearing crackling, so I'm guessing and it looks like it's reflecting a light back to me. So I'm guessing it's all the way through it. I don't have a honeycomb, so I can't really see if the light's going out the bottom or not. But we'll see if it makes it with 4 passes. If it does, I'm gonna do another little smaller box with 3 passes and just kind of see what it looks like. All right, so I did 4 passes on that, guys, and got a clean fall. I'm spoilt with air assist, but I mean, that's not terrible. It's got a little yellowing, but nice clean cut. Made it all the way through it, even without a honeycomb. So I'm gonna use the frame from that last cut to line that back up, put it back in there. And I'm gonna run that same square. I'm gonna resize it a little bit, of course, and move it over. But I'm gonna run that same square, and I'm gonna set this one to run 2 passes and see what happens. All right, I'm seeing reflection back up into the protective lens. So since I've got that metal panel down there, usually you'll see that once it makes it all the way through. So it very well may have made it through in that 1 pass. But we're gonna let it run these 2. And if it do get a clean drop out of 2 passes, then I'll move it back down to 1 and we'll check it. But I am seeing some reflection coming back up through the hole, so. All right. Yeah, clean cut, guys. So 2 passes, 4.5 millimeter Luan, success. All right, I'm gonna move my square down to get it off top of where it was just now. I'm gonna change that layer to 1 pass at 7 millimeters per second. All right. 1 pass at 7 is not making it. Now, in all fairness, let's try another piece and let me slow it down because it does not have air assist. So I'm gonna slow this down to about 5 millimeters per second, and guys, that is about as slow as I prefer to go because I don't want to start a fire. I've got the cut set at 5 millimeters per second at 100% output. I'm gonna go ahead and run that. Oh man, that was quick. I see reflectivity back up through the material. So it's making it through at 5 millimeters per second. Yeah, I got smoke coming out from under the workpiece, so it may not be completely cut through, but it's making it through. Yeah, it's leaving, I don't know if you can see this, guys, but it's leaving little tiny spots. So I want to slow it down and see how slow I can go and get it to cut without starting a fire. So, because I know some of you guys will slow it way down, but I'm not a fan, but I'll give this guy a shot. So I'm gonna move it down to 4 millimeters per second and run it again. All right, it had a few little snags, but nothing major. But that's a single pass. I mean, it's got a lot of sap stuff coming out, of course, because I don't have a honeycomb. And this wood is kind of sappy today for some reason. The glue's melted. So I'm gonna go a little slower. I'm gonna see how low this thing will go without setting my shop on fire here. So I'm gonna change it down to 3 millimeters per second at 100% output. And we'll see how that does. And I think that's gonna conclude being able to cut this stuff. I don't want to go any lower than 3 millimeters per second. Normally I would rather do 7 millimeters per second 2 passes than to do 3 millimeters per second for 1 pass, because you actually would get done a little faster. But I do want to know what the 1 pass capability of this machine is. Oh, a drop, guys. That was a drop. Picked up the workpiece and it fell out. All right, and just to show here too, guys, I mean, this is no air assist, so I mean, but it's not terrible. Let me see if I can get it a little closer for you. It's not terrible. I mean, I've seen much worse without air assist, so not bad at all. Now, the one thing I haven't tested is the engraving, and I'm assuming that this is definitely a 10 watt. I was told it was. It doesn't have any markings on the module to indicate that it is, but judged on its performance, I'm thinking it is definitely going to be a 10 watt. So my next little test here is going to be, I'm going to bring one of my logos in and burn it to that little piece of wood. Now, I'm not going to do a big one, I'm going to do a small one. I just want to see what it'll do, if I have enough real estate left. All right, so got it framed up, guys. I'm going to run this, I'm assuming that this is a 10 watt. I'm going to go ahead and run this at 70 speed, 100% output, 127 lines per inch, and this is just my logo, so I'm going to see how it does. It may have been a little hot for this machine. I might need to go on up a little faster. It's definitely an engraving machine. It looks good. I could go much faster, I believe, though. Now, guys, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. The homing on this thing and the precision that it homes without slapping anything, that's pretty impressive. All right, look at that, guys. That's pretty. I mean, I will say that's pretty decent. Nice tone, nice color. I mean, everything's where it's supposed to be. Not bad at all. Not bad. I'm gonna run the DPI or the LPI up just a little bit and see what that does. I'm gonna shrink it down just a fuzz because that took a little longer. But I'm gonna run my lines per inch up to 274. And I'm gonna run the speed up to 80. Because it looks like it could go a little faster and still get a good burn. It is a smooth gliding machine, I'll give it that. The cable management on it seems to be working pretty well the way they've got it set up. I still haven't added that little strap that they sent me, but I will be adding that to the right side of it. I don't know that I'm going to be putting a drag chain on it. The way that top cable is kind of hanging out up there, it looks pretty good to me. It's got zip ties already on it. Everything was zip tied up, so, oh wow. What's happening here? We got a lot of smokes that trying to catch on fire with me. Yeah, the module is pretty powerful. I'm about to turn the speed up on it. It hit a spot in that wood that I was trying to flame up a little bit there for a minute. So I'm gonna have to turn the speed way up with that lines per inch. Now I went kind of insanely high with the lines per inch, but I was wanting to see what kind of clarity I can get out of it, but I almost started a fire. All right, yeah. I turned the lines per inch a little too high, guys. It almost set ablaze, but the clarity on it is awesome. I want to do that again, but I want to make it bigger, and I want to turn the speed up a little. All right, here we go. 100 speed, 100% output, 274 LPI. I'm not gonna make you watch this, guys. I blew that thing up kind of big, so I'll bring you right back. All right, guys, here's that last burn that I just did. I run this one up way too high on the LPI for your average engraving, but I wanted to see, you know, 10 watts are known for their precision when it comes to engraving, and I wanted to see what this one was capable of as far as the clarity. Now, I'm gonna have to do some cleanup on this with some sandpaper because I did run it really, really high. But the detail in that engraving is pretty awesome. Give me just a second and let me hit that with the sander and blow the air, take the air hose and blow it out, and I'm gonna show you that's a good looking engrave. All right, guys, although this machine didn't score any extra points for the instruction book, I will say my friends at Comgrow, the engraving capabilities of this machine and the precision of it, I mean, that's Luan, and look how clean. See if how close I can get you guys. Look how clean those edges of that line and the edges of the graphic are. That's pretty good there. So I definitely, this machine would definitely be a keeper. This is not something I'll be sending off anywhere anytime soon. I'm gonna do a lot more testing. I've got to do a little bit more work. I haven't attached all the cables the way they need to be attached. I wanted to see the machine run first and kind of get a feel for where the cables need to go. But so far, guys, I'm gonna have to give it a thumbs up so far. Ease of assembly and the clarity of the instructions definitely need some work. I suspect that the instructions for these things, I don't know if it's a matter of translation or if it's a matter of the people that write the instructions just assume we're all engineers or what it is, but the instructions obviously are lacking. As far as the build, as far as the way it's put together, the only real grumble I have is instructions. These two cables right here, it wouldn't have taken much to either put a black dot or a yellow dot or put something on there to give you an inkling to which one went where. Maybe they've got a video that I haven't watched, but like I said, guys, I try to pretend and I try to put these things together as if I'm putting myself in your shoes. And if you're someone who orders this machine, gets this machine, and doesn't, you know, have access to all of the information, just kind of helps me scale them a little better. Because if I watch video after video after video of how to put these things together to where I can do it with my eyes closed, it is not a fair depiction to those of you who maybe aren't as mechanically inclined or haven't ever put a laser together. So that's kind of my way of staying true to the whole thing of me trying it out and letting you guys know everything that you need to know about it. But so far, guys, it's a keeper. It is a 10 watt. If it's not a 10 watt, it's a really powerful something else. It actually on a one pass, it's actually outperforming my other 10 watt that I use on a regular basis as far as cutting goes. Engraving, it's hard to say just yet because I haven't done any pictures or anything with it, but it's up there comparable to what I'm used to with my current configuration. So this is definitely and I'll have to look back at the price and I'll look at that and I'll put a link in the description and everything to this machine, but if memory serves me correct, this is a very economically priced machine. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up, guys, for tonight. It's been a long day. I've still got editing to do, but I think, like I said, so far I give it a thumbs up at this point, and there will be more testing to come. So stay tuned. All right, guys, for tonight's testing, I basically just vacated my secondary enclosure here because I've been making some ink bandits for my friend May May. Me and her have an event coming up that we're going to be at together, and she texted me and said she needed some merch from the Clack Shack for May May. So I've got keychains, ink bandits, and some refrigerator magnets that I'm having to turn out this week to have to her Saturday, while also trying to turn out the stuff for the Clack Shack to take to this event Saturday. But I'm gonna get after it. I'm gonna keep hustling, and I'm gonna get it done. So if you're anywhere near Central Alabama, Clanton more specifically, this weekend, Saturday night, May May and myself will be at the Arttoberfest in downtown Clanton. It's also going to be, they're going to be unveiling their new lights that they've just put over the street, and I keep joking with everybody and my wife as well, and telling them it's going to look like the set from a Hallmark movie, because they're going to have the Christmas lights, or the lights kind of like I have on the portable Clack Shack, that are going to be across the street, all the way down the street for a solid block. And it's going to be interesting, it's going to be cool, but we'll be at the very first event where they're going to be unveiling those. So if you're near Clanton, or if you want to ride up, May May and myself will both be there. We have a booth, and we're going to be relatively close together. So back to what we're here for, guys. The Comgrow machine that they sent me, I wasn't sure. The module says that it's at least a 10 watt if you look it up, but it apparently is a 10 watt based on its performance. This thing is dropping 4.5 millimeter Luon in one pass at 5 millimeters per second. So it's definitely comparable to 10 watts that I've seen before and used before, and that I have. I'm gonna go over the bad things that I want to point out about the machine first. And like I said, my friends at Comgrow keep sending me stuff, and I always point out the room for improvement. They apparently don't have a problem with it. They keep sending me the stuff, but I'm going to be honest with you guys and tell you the pitfalls. The biggest complaint that I have with the machine, and this pretty much has been every laser I've ever owned or ever had, the instructions are vague. Okay, guys, the pictures are tiny. They try to cram all this information into like 3 pages in a book that has like different languages in it, and so the pictures are tiny. They don't accurately depict what is going on during the installation process. Now, I know there's probably a video out there on Comgrow's website, and if you found that video, I'm sure it would be more helpful than the book, but I try to do it based on what comes in the box. If it's not in the box, if there's not a video in the box, then I try to put myself in your shoes if you order this and you got it in the mail. So that was the biggest thing. Orienting the pieces, that was a challenge. Once I got past that, and I'm gonna do a video on the assembly. I'm gonna have to edit it some because there were some places where I got hung up, but I'm gonna go back and point out to you why I got hung up and what I got hung up on and how you need to go about putting it together. But the assembly wasn't hard, it wasn't difficult. The only difficult part really was orienting the pieces correctly to make sure that once you started into the process, all of the holes were where they needed to be to put the different components on there. A couple of things where I messed up was simply my own overlooking, I guess. The one thing that I was really scared about was the wiring going to the module. On the wiring going to the module, there's 4 wires, but there's 2 plugs. It's not one continual plug. It's 2 identical plugs, so each wire could go to either plug. One's yellow and blue, and one is red and black. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I put it together backwards the first time. The fan didn't work, the module didn't power up, it did nothing. But the good news is it didn't destroy it either. So I was able to take and reverse those wires and get the machine operational. It works good, but just a tip, the blue and yellow wire will be towards the Comgrow emblem on the front of the machine. The black and red wire will plug in closest to the gantry and the mount for the module. And guys, to be honest with you, that's the only negative things that I have to say about the machine so far. Cable management is surprisingly well. This one came, the zip ties were already placed in a lot of places where they needed to be. It was fairly simple to put together once I got the orientation right. The screws, it came with all the tools. The screws were fairly easy. Now, some of those tiny screws, guys, I have problems with these. These are too big sometimes for these little tiny screws. And some of these screws are in some places that it's just not easy to get to. It does have the blue accents, which I like on the machine. It kind of gives it a different color. It's not gray, it's not just solid black. It's got a little color to it. It's kind of a shiny blue, and it looks cool. The machine itself, and I got video that I'm going to be doing to show you, but the laser machine itself, it moves very smoothly. It has limit switches, and the limit switches operate very smoothly.